Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're opening pawn b4 as the Viper, playing as the blue Burmese prepares to take on MbL, playing as the red Poles. Now while the players herd their herdables, explore their immediate surroundings, and try to go up to Feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now the Burmese are a Civ that focuses very much on its mounted units. Their battle elephants automatically come with extra armor and can be upgraded to get even more armor. Their cavalry can be upgraded to get a powerful attack boost against all archers. And their unique unit, the Arambai, is a ranged cavalry unit that throws darts at its opponents with horrible accuracy. But even darts that miss deal 100% damage when they land on any other unit by mistake, compared to the usual 50% of other archer units. Now, on the field of battle to support their mounted units, especially their elephants, the Burmese have several options. First, if you want to go infantry, all Burmese infantry units get progressively stronger with a +1 attack boost in Feudal, Castle, and Imperial, all the way up to a +3 attack in Imperial. Or you can choose to go the route of the game's only spellcaster. I'm talking about the monk. If you go this route, know that monastery techs are 50% cheaper, and to help you pay for the techs, the Burmese have a very cool feature. Let's take a look at their line of sight. Notice anything on the minimap? They know exactly where all 5 relics, especially whatever number of relics there are on the map, 5 in Arabia, are located at the beginning of the game, so you know exactly where to send your monk, where to send your scout to defend the relic, and so forth. Now, in order to build the infrastructure that's needed to pump out large amounts of units, all of their lumber camp techs are free. Opposing the Viper as the Poles in red, we've got MbL. This is a civilization that focuses very much on its cavalry. Want to go something light? Then know that Pole scout cavalry line units come with a small attack bonus against archers and can actually be upgraded to do trample damage, which can be helpful, very helpful in the late game, since Poles are the only one, or rather the only, oh man, I'm having trouble saying that sentence, are one of the only 2 civs in the game to have their hussars replaced with winged hussars, which are already tankier and stronger than normal hussars, but also come with an attack bonus against gunpowder units and an even bigger attack bonus against monks. Now, if you're in the mood for something a little heavier, a little chunkier, a little bit more powerful, Pole Knights and Cavaliers can be upgraded to cost a lot less gold. Now, when I say a lot, I mean 60%. So from 75 gold to 30. So it becomes much easier to spam these heavy units starting in Castle Age. Now, to back up their cavalry on the field of battle, the Poles can field their unique unit, the Obuch. This is a tanky, well-armored infantry unit whose attack actually reduces both the melee and pierce armor of its opponent by 1 with every single swipe of its massive warhammer. Now, to support the production of their food and gold-intensive cavalry units, Pole stone miners also generate gold. Their farmers have access to a unique structure called the Folwark, which replaces the mill and automatically adds 8% of the value of any farm within its radius to the coffers. And when I say its radius, we'll show you in a minute. I'm assuming we're going to see a Folwark out of MbL as soon as he can get 125 wood. And unlike a regular mill, it does provide 5 population space, which, by the way, is why it costs 125 wood and not the usual 100 of a mill. Now, Polish villagers are harder to raid because, like Viking berserkers starting in Feudal Age, they do regenerate HP. Let's take a look. You see, when you click on a Folwark, you don't be fooled. Even though it's got the building icon of a blacksmith, this is a Folwark. Any farm seated within this 4x4 tile radius, 8% of the value of that farm gets automatically added to MbL's coffers. Now, while the players have established their settlements, the Viper going up to Feudal first, off the back of 19 villagers, our Pole not far behind. I'm assuming the second loom is done. Yeah, he's clicking up. Let's take a look at their bases, see if anyone's particularly advantaged or disadvantaged. Although at this point, MbL has already started walling off his base, wall off to the back. Bit of a funnel strategy for him at the moment, so he doesn't want to expend the wood to wall off all of these big open spaces. Instead, he's saying, if you're going to come at me, bro, you're going to have to do it through a town center full of villagers who are going to be raining arrows down upon you. Aside from that, primary gold nice and safe in the back, primary stone a little bit off campus, and additional gold, both in the forward position. Not a fan of this for MbL. Unfortunately for him, if he mines out this primary gold, the Viper will have a very easy time putting pressure on these. Oh, wow. Both of them are Tetris pieces. Okay. Not every day you see that. The Viper, for his part, not a bad base at all. A couple of easy wall-offs, and he is nice and snug as a bug, although to the west, completely open. Primary gold secure to the side. Primary stone secure to the back. Secondary gold a little bit off campus. Tertiary gold also off campus. Also Lego, oh my goodness, Tetris pieces. Very interesting. The Viper's gold, though, a little bit further off campus in two separate directions, whereas MbL's are both in the forward-facing. We'll see if that plays any role whatsoever. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. In any event, always good to know where your opponent's weak spots are, where their strong parts are. But MbL's gold a little bit more secure, and like we saw, he's already started a semi-wall-off. Not that the Viper really cares too much. 3 militias already here. Army supply 4-0. MbL has already lost his scout. Villager count identical. Let's see how much of his base the Viper has actually seen. Oh, he's going to try. He's going to go for it. MbL, though. What an amazing response time out of him to garrison his villagers. Not a lot of villagers, to be honest. Only 4 garrison inside, but MbL doesn't know that. So that's enough to shoo him away. Now he's going to explore the periphery of his opponent's base. MbL, zero clue where the Viper is. This is the Viper's base. This is MbL's vision. So MbL has no idea where his opponent is coming from. This at the moment is all of his map vision. So MbL, no surprise that his score is already down about 200 and some odd points. Not just because of the loss of the scout, but because also no actual map vision for him. 24 villagers apiece. Archer comes out. Militia have to back away. Not much they can do against archers here. Now MbL, by walling himself off into this little enclave, has basically limited himself to the back forests that he has access to. This one, very easy to lame with archers right there. The one to the east, a little bit harder to lame. This is a bit thicker and juicier in the back, but to the front, 1, 2, 3. It looks like 3 or 4 trees. So if the Viper decides to go archers, which it looks like he's building skirmishers, no surprise there. Now that he's seen his opponent's archers, rather that's his map vision. No doubt skirmishers are the route for him, but skirmishers mostly a defensive unit at this stage. We'll see in the next couple of minutes if he wants to make them into offensive units. Not that MbL is really moving out. Instead, another full work. Always throws me off, that full work with that blacksmith icon. Always throws me off. 29 villagers apiece. MbL's army supply has climbed back up nicely. Going full archers is our poll. 2 militias, 2 skirmishers, and the original scout, which I think... No, you're a militia. Where is his original scout? Look at MbL. Finally has discovered where his opponent is at the 14-minute mark of the game. Scout here resting on the laurels of the 1 kill that he got earlier. Probably the scout of MbL. Let's take a look at resources. Let's take a look at the bases while the players have kind of disengaged. It looks like MbL also lost his archer here. Skirmisher resting on 1 kill as well. So the Viper, not interested in a full wall off at all. Creating funnels as well. Taking his back wood lines also, but because they're fully exposed, fully open, easier to raid. Not that our poll is very interested in raiding at the moment. Let's take a look. Archery range, blacksmith. The barracks is on the left side. Bit of a tighter wall off here for our Burmese. I'm surprised he's not using these forests. I'm surprised. I mean, all of this amount of wood, if you just push this wall this way, could have been secured here and here. Okay, I guess the Viper afraid of raiding perhaps, or afraid of exposing his base to too much archer fire, going for a more... playing his cards closer to his chest or vest. I think both of those expressions are absolutely fine. And building a wall off closer to where he can actually reach it, as opposed to all the way over here where he'll have a difficult time reaching it. By the way, MbL's archer is doing a fantastic... 2 lions! 2 lions! I'm interrupting myself. Skirmisher attacking archers. Archers attacking lions. Lions attacking skirmishers. This is a real train of death here. I was about to say MbL doing a fantastic job keeping these archers inside the minimum range of the skirmishers, basically nullifying their effect. Both players going up to castle. The Viper literally, what, 17 seconds ahead of his opponent. More lions. What is going on? The map has all of a sudden erupted into both human and animal action. MbL shooing away this skirmisher. Unfortunately, the skirmisher sees everything. I say unfortunately for MbL. Quite fortunate for the Viper. Immediately retracts his army home. Recalls them. Says, guys, get your butts back here. We need to deal with this armed force because take a look at his gold. Take a look at how exposed this is. And now 4 archers, +1 attack, +1 range. This might be very problematic for the Viper. And keep in mind, if he loses control of this gold, his next closest gold is right here. And then the one after that is right here. So he's got to defend this gold pile with his life, especially now that he's heading up to Castle Age. We'll see what kind of defense he can muster already. 2 skirmishers, but one of them, one more shot, and he should die. Army supply for MbL 8-3. This is basically the entire army of the Viper at the moment. Oh, and he gets a villager. Now remember, it's the Poles whose stone miners generate gold, not the Burmese. So this is not a source of gold at all for the Viper. Says, you know what, I'm not going to put up a bunch of static defense. I'm just going to build an extra town center, and good luck to you engaging into it. MbL has relented the pressure here. Why? I guess he's trying to bust in through the back of the base. Both players now in castle are Pole getting cavalry armor upgrades. Oh, he is trying to get into here, but there's already a Burmese knight chasing him. Not too much that these scout units can do. A third town center. Oh, mama. This is a very far off campus town center. This is a long distance for his villagers to have to retreat back home if they're attacked. But for now, in this stage of the game, not too much that can actually attack them. At least not anything out of the Viper at the moment, who splits up his army. Which way will the knights go? This is like those Instagram videos where you let your puppy loose. Will it go left to the dad? Will it go right to the mom? Viper says, I'm going to turn right because this is a good opportunity to kill your archers. These scouts are not going to accomplish much, not with this kind of shitty HP. So great decision here by the Viper to go after the ranged units. If he didn't, those ranged units could cause a real serious problem for him over here. Let's take a look at what the players are building while they've disengaged. Another archery range for our Burmese. And that's essentially it. Added a stable here to the front. Added a monastery. Monk already out. How many relics has the Viper seen? Just the one here. I would say how many relics has our Burmese seen, but, you know, remember the beginning of the game? They see all of the relics. So that question is a... what's the word I'm looking for? A rhetorical question. The Viper for himself, 1 archery range. Still the original barracks. His own monk is going to come out soon, although already is out healing his knight. Two knights here have no idea. They will discover this soon. But there's a lot of army here for MbL, so the Viper has to be careful. Oh, will he go after the knight? This is a good opportunity to snipe a knight. A monk, rather. Oh, and he does. Now, by the way... actually, no, never mind. A bit of a nonsense. I was going to say, you do see the relics in their starting position. But now, because the knights had vision of it, he does see the relic in this position. Oh, you see, this is what I was talking about. Town centers can pretty much negate anything that comes out of the opposing player at this stage of the game, except perhaps mangonels. I mean, I shouldn't say perhaps. Definitely mangonels, but knights, archer units, all of those can all be defended against with a good, well-placed town center. By the way, what the hell are you? You are a scout cavalry with 1 kill. Castle, by the way, in case we didn't see it, a Rambai are out. Ooh, doggy. This is going to be a fun use of a Rambai here. I love this unit, by the way. I mean, look, if you guys have watched my casts, you know I love a lot of the units. Take a look at its accuracy. 20% accuracy at the bottom there. Base 20. Horseshit accuracy. Horseshit. But if your opponent clumps units like this, because every dart that misses does 100% damage, you can actually have a scenario where you're killing multiple units at once, even though the accuracy is 20%. Don't be fooled by that. Against individual units that are just there one at a time, yeah, sure, Arambai not the greatest. Against this clump, the Arambais would eat this for breakfast if he turned around. If the Viper just turned around and attacked that, they would do a good job killing those Arambai, but not before these 11 crossbows. Half of them died, if not more. Let's see. Let's see if I'm proven right here. The Viper really inserting himself into the base. And I just want to see, I want to see clumped units against the Arambai. So the Viper's trying to bust his way in through this base. And by the way, this attack of 12, nothing can change that. No upgrades affect it. And see how shitty the range is? The accuracy is? But when they're clumped like this... Okay, never mind. I was trying to prove a point. I proved the exact opposite point. That they're pretty good at individual units. Never mind. Well, I'm sure if this is the way the game is going, we're going to get to see a Arambai tackling clumped units. But this 12 and on an elite of 15 doesn't change. You can upgrade all the Pierce, all the melee, all the upgrades you want in the world. That 12 is staying at 12. That 15 for the elite is staying 15. If the Viper doesn't notice, he's going to lose a... Okay. Notices that he noticed too late. Let's put it like that. Decides to delete his own knight. 20 darts required to kill that one villager. But watch, if the Arambai get into here, it's one of the prettiest things to watch. There's a few things that I like to see in this game. You know, Kataperuto Trebs from the Japanese, packing and unpacking. Oh man, Timurid Siegecraft with siege engineers with a 19 range trebuchets. Shotel warriors running and swarming. And Arambai attacking is definitely added to that list. It's just such a cool feature. And again, you have to know how to use the unit. You have to micro it fantastically because they themselves clump up. And they themselves don't have the greatest stats. 0 base melee, 1 base pierce armor, 5 range only. But they move so-so at 1.43. And look at how bad that range is. How easy it is for these villagers to dodge. Second castle emergency. Castle defensive going up, rather. Not emergency. I don't know why I said emergency. But MbL already has up a castle of his own. Army supply 33 to 21. The Viper housed at 110. Needs to get this castle up ASAP. Although not relying on that. Building 3 houses. University as well. Why is that? Ballistics. And now he's housed no more. 89 villager supply to 89 villager supply. MbL with the massive 50% army lead. And it is a good army lead. Crossbows, monks, knights, not bad at all. Relic count 2 to 1 for our Burmese. No surprise there. What they can't engage into is a castle fire. Oh, man. Death in the desert here. So Arambai's to the east, Arambai's to the west. The Viper getting another relic. It looks like it's going to be 4 to 1. Oh, he notices the crossbows. A little bit too late. Another town center, the 4th for our blue Burmese. MbL, though, let's see it. Moving out, will now be able to get the mangonel. That shot was just absolutely atrocious. Will he get scared of the monk or will he not? And look, now they're clumped. We're not seeing a lot of adjacent unit damage. A little bit there. But I'm sure we'll see. You know, I'm trying to prove a point here by focusing so much on the Arambai attacks. Maybe we'll see them, maybe we won't. But if MbL goes crossbows, I think we will. Another town center going up for him. Needs to get this Tetris gold. Let's see these villagers. Rambai are not looking great here at all. They are not looking good. I promise they're a good unit. And they're especially a very fun unit to watch. Might just need to mask them a little more. Oh man, that accuracy is just, ugh, it's so gross sometimes. 2 converted to Rambai though. Look, MbL will be in Imperial in 20 seconds. The Viper a full minute and a half behind. While they've disengaged, let's take a look at their bases again. I'm going to zoom out. Apologies to anyone on a smaller screen. Our Burmese is going 5 stables. Still just the 2 archery ranges that he had in the beginning. What, rather our pole. What am I talking about? Our Burmese. Our pole. Our Burmese. Still just the 1 stable. Just the 1 barracks. So he's going full of Rambai play. Okay. If that's the case, then we for sure are going to see some fun shenanigans. But look at MbL moving out. Oh, no. Does he notice? Does he notice? Yes, he does. This is a lot of dead villagers potentially here. At the same time, Knights engaging under a town center. Not exactly the greatest HP on them. So I'll be surprised if they get more than 1 or 2 villager kills, if even 1. Okay, it does get 1. But in come, what? 2 fresh? Oh, now all those stone miners are running. 3 broke off here. The rest broke off here. A lion joining. Oh my god, is this the same line as before? No idea. Incredibly aggressive castle here by MbL, who is now 3 villagers ahead and double the army supply of his opponent. And that army, by the way, includes 2 of these Arambai. But our Burmese, elite Arambai, herbal medicine. So he wants to be able to heal his garrisoned units 6 times faster. Oh, and plus, don't tell MbL we're whispering. We hope he doesn't hear us. There's a proxy stable here. Oh no. This is a lot of dead villagers. 19 kills on these crossbows so far. But Arambai are now elite. Range still at 5. Everything the same except for the pierce armor, which goes up a little bit to a base of 2. Speed the same. Attack up from 12 to 15. Let's see it. Let's see him engage. You're going to have to engage. You're going to have to take a volley of crossbow bolts to the face if you want to engage. There's no other option. You have less range. But don't be scared. Do it. Do it for the gram. And you see how it's killing multiple? Look at that. 4 freaking crossbows at once. Look at this. Has there... this is exactly the example I was waiting for. My goodness. What is this? 2 Arambai? For that entire army? Tell me that wasn't awesome and spectacular to watch. Tell me that wasn't the coolest thing you've ever seen. Because MbL clumped his units there. They died 3 or 4 at a time, just like these Cavaliers, by the way. MbL's army supply has been knocked down to 24. The Viper is at 34. Will he try to attack these Trebs? He'll take a bunch of damage. Now, I don't know. One thing I'm not too sure about is why the Viper keeps getting in super close to his targets. He got super close to the crossbows. He got super close to those Trebs. I mean, you still have 5 range. 5 is not, you know, terrible. You don't have to get right next to your opponent. Oh, MbL's got a unit here. Will he have scouted this? No, it's in Terra Incognita. He doesn't know about it. He's going to. He's definitely going to when 3 unupgraded scouts show up. But at the same time, MbL doing some raiding of his own. The Viper's first castle is down. MbL attacking. Army supply 35 to 35. But take a look at villager count now. Our poll, 20 villagers ahead, but not for long. These unupgraded scouts are now unupgraded light cav. MbL going for elite skirmisher Bodkin for our Burmese. Wow. And by the way, take a look. Even with Bodkin, a Rambai attack doesn't change. Range doesn't change. So before you start investing in all those upgrades, make sure you remember that it does not actually affect these these Arambai. That would just make them way too OP, way too powerful. More and more stables. 5 stables here for the Viper. Where do these villagers think they're going? And here we go. The issue again, the Viper's gold. How much gold does he have here? 1,200. His primary has been mined out. Oh, no, almost mined out. How much gold is in this? 1,100. So he's 2,300 gold away from being mined out. He's got to secure this gold. And right now with these trebs here, oh, man, that's a lot of Polish stone miners. 27 of them. This is a bit of a traffic jam situation here, but the light cav are in the base. 1 kill only. Amazing reaction time by MbL. Amazing. How many of us would have lost only 1 villager to this raid? Although now it looks like it's going to go up a little bit. A few more. 2, 3, probably 4 kills if I had to guess. Don't clump against a Rambai. So we have the battle here of the cheaper Polish Cavaliers against the bonkersness of the Arambai. Oh man, the Viper is getting constrained here. He definitely will not have access to this gold for the next little while unless he can stop this castle. MbL, unrelenting aggression out of him. Look at the construction of his base on the minimap. The Viper is going for a bit of a sneaky wraparound attack with these 5 stables. A few villagers here occupying themselves with tiefing MbL's contested stone. But look at MbL's base. Literally a spearhead. 2 castles. Our Burmese has lost control of all of the relics, and no surprise. Wow. Wow. And even though the Viper's got 46 army supply, even though he's got 107 villagers, this is just way too much. Let's take a look at what he could have done to deal with this. So he built these 5 stables. Let me just rewind literally a split second, because if you take a look at the top, once the game is over, the villager allocation for the losing player disappears. So you have to literally rewind back a split second. So the Viper's got 106 villagers, 20 of them are idle. 30 on food, 30 on wood, very few on gold, and very few on stone. I mean, this is his entire stone right here. And even though he's managed to push MbL off of this gold, he now needs to secure the gold. And there's already 3 Cavaliers, 3 more. 6 Cavaliers are about to pop out of here. How many gold miners does he have? 2 only. Oh, look at this guy in the middle of getting his dart ready to throw. Yikes. So let's take a look. He's got 1,000 wood. Crappy resources otherwise. Where are his production structures? Where's his military industrial complex located? Here on the upper left of his base. 7 stables. But take a look at the top left of your screen. Take a look at the upgrades. Out of these stables can come whatever unit he wants, right? I mean, let me rephrase. Whatever unit he wants, except for, what is it? Paladins, I think they don't get. The Burmese. But no attack upgrades. No armor upgrades on them. So whatever comes out of here is basically at a 0-0. Look at this. Oh, no, sorry. Oh, sorry, I screwed up. I was looking at the infantry attack upgrades. Whatever comes out of here is at a 0+1. Because he does have the first armor upgrade. 0+1 against +2/+2 of the Poles. By the way, 33 Cavaliers of the Poles, knowing that your opponent has Schlachter, knowing that your opponent has secured various gold piles up until a second ago around the world, and the stone, knowing that your opponent has more villagers than you, this town center is now lamed, can't do anything. This one's open for raiding because there's no wall off. This is very open for raiding off campus. And once this castle falls, you can't produce anymore the unit that you've been relying on this entire game. So even though he's got 34 Arambai, 20 of them here, I think there were a few. Where did we see a few? I saw a few on the map here somewhere. Yeah, there's a little clump over here. 1 second. No, they're not here. Oh, right. Sorry, they're over here. And 9 over here. They're scattered. He's only got 20 here to defend. But once this castle goes down, this is the what I was talking about, when we were watching a game with the Italians and the player, oh, who the hell was it? I forget who it was exactly. They were going the Ninja Turtle units, the Genoese crossbows with those big Pavice shields on their backs that to me look like Ninja Turtle shells. If your entire strategic thinking for the game is I'm going to produce my unique unit, then unless you've got the Goths with Anarchy, or unless you're the Italians and you're going condottieri, then you need castles, because you can't produce unique units out of other structures. So with the castles die, you can't produce your unique unit. And even though the Viper has, let's call it a mediocre amount of resources, you know, he still has over 100 villagers, which is, you know, a player of the Viper status. 2785 Elo is good. Don't be mistaken. 106 villagers in the Viper's hands could be incredibly dangerous. The problem is he can't produce anything. Once this last castle falls, he doesn't have a Treb of his own anywhere. He's got 2 bombard cannons though, who might contest these 2 Trebs. But where is the third of MbL's Trebs? What am I missing? Okay, it's rolling over here. So if it just moves a little to the left, or if some of these Cavaliers are pivoted to the east, they will crush that bombard cannon, or the elite skirmishers will at least start shelling away, although it's pretty tanky against them with 5 pierce armor. But once this castle is down, the Viper can only really produce cavalry, and cavalry, as we saw, horribly upgraded. So I don't think he can really put up much of a fight, even though, again, still 106 villagers, 46 army supply. The numbers are very misleading, especially now here with 2 castles. If it was 1, I would say maybe bring in your Arambai from the left, bring in your Arambai from the right, mine 8 more gold and try to produce a Treb and repair this one. You've got 355 stone. You can repair this until it pumps out 1 Treb maybe. But now he's lost his automatic gold. No more 4 relics for him. So I think the Viper just realized, you know, I'm in a good situation right now, but in the medium to long term, I just have no way of contesting this. The Viper with Hera level micro here, 225 at the 34-minute mark of the game. PKPM for MbL coming in earlier, 112 Cavaliers, 58 Arambai. Take a look at the economy. Oh, okay, so a little bit better for MbL. I mean, this is like 10% better. Relic count didn't really do much this game, about 1,000 gold difference. Wow, which just shows you how much more gold our poll took with all that extra stone mining that they get. And take a look at the stone count for our poll, by the way. An extra castle's worth of stone. By the way, if you're not familiar, the way the stone and the gold bonus works, let me just zoom in to here. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you get 1 gold per every 3 stone that you mine. So for every stone, oh, look at her. She is like in the middle of swinging, as is this guy. Damn, this guy's hammering hard. Every unit of stone they mine, they also get 0.333333 ad infinitum, 1/3 of 1 unit of gold. So basically 1 gold for every 3 stone, to make it simple. So that is a very strong bonus, especially when there's still 325 gold left in this pile. Just under 300 gold left in this pile. And remember, Schlachte, your knights, your cavaliers cost 60% less gold, meaning they cost 30 gold. So if you can get an extra 300 gold, that's 10 extra cavaliers. So I think the Viper just realized, you know what, even though I've got the kill lead at 141 to 119, MbL is starting to raid my economy. And even though I did some good raiding over here, not enough with those weaker units. Those Cavaliers came and basically cleared everything up easily. And the Viper, even though, again, the score is just about 10% off, the resources were 10% off, the picture as things are right now is pretty okay. Not great, not good, okay. But he knows in the medium to long run, there's nothing he can do once this castle falls. He just does not have the resources to start upgrading his cavalry out of how many one blacksmith, which is, by the way, also in the line of fire. And so he might get out these bombard cannons, but these are the last 2 bombard cannons he's getting out because he doesn't have the gold for it. These guys are 450 resources a pop, 225 gold each. And so at the end of the day, the Viper just, again, sees that he has no future here, decides to live to fight another day, even though I had some high hopes for this backstab here, as the Viper loves to attack in multiple angles at once. Ultimately, though, just could not keep up with MbL's aggression, which, by the way, look at this. We saw it earlier. Look at this. This is the construction of a player who has one goal in mind, and that is to crush through your center and break you in half. And that is exactly what MbL did. It takes the big W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.